another weekly Toastmasters meeting. I am Guru Prasad, your Sergeant at Arms for the day. Toastmasters is close to a century-old platform which helps its members excel in their public speaking, communication, and leadership skills. As a mission, Toastmasters provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. To make this meeting more enjoyable and experiential, we would like to explain some ground rules that we request you to be following throughout this meeting. Being a remote meeting, you are requested to keep your microphone always on mute unless you are delivering a session or asked a question. Also, kindly keep your phone in silent mode during the meeting when you speak so that it does not create any disturbance to others. Please prefix your name with TM underscore if you are a Toastmaster and guest underscore if you are a guest. I'll give you 10 seconds now for you to kindly rename yourself. Thank you. As far as possible, keep your camera on and be available in the video so that the speakers and performers will get a near live experience and would get motivated by your visual responses, provided if your bandwidth permits. Please stay in a professional posture with a professional attire in the camera throughout the meeting. Kindly stay throughout the meeting till the end of it. Please, please, please do not exit abruptly without informing. Our team has taken enormous efforts and pain to organize this meeting. It will be an insult that will be making to the team if you exit from the call abruptly. In case of urgent needs, please mention your exit politely in the chat window and do the exit. Please keep open the chat window in the corner of your screen so that any message that we pass on during the meeting reaches you and you'll be able to react appropriately. With these words, I am very glad to invite and introduce the presiding officer of today's meeting. This is Toastmaster Saravanan, who is also the Vice President Public Relations of Medley Toastmasters Club. Be it his PR role, be it a role in the speech, be it organizing any event of Medley Toastmasters Club, one word that we all remember or recognize Saravanan with is meticulous. He is very clear in whatever he is doing in the name of Toastmasters. Of course, we believe he carries the same attitude throughout his other phases of life as well. With these nice words about Saravanan, I am very glad to invite him and open the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Saravanan.
Thank you, DTM Guru Prasad. Thanks for the warm welcome. And good afternoon, fellow members as well as guests. I am very glad to welcome you to the 642nd meeting of Medley. And with the sound of this imaginary gavel, I declare the meeting open. And I see lots of dignitaries who have adorned our meeting today. I am glad to welcome DTM Guru Prasad, C3 Area Director DTM Sampath Saurirajan, DTM Sarovel Rajan, and former AD Area Director Toastmaster Ram Prasad, as well as former Division Director Toastmaster Kalyan. Thanks for joining this meeting. I recently read an article that is, life is a myriad of complexities. We have complexities everywhere, whether it is a student or a school-going student. I mean, for them, algebra is a complex thing. And for a mechanical engineer, what is the complex thing? Thermodynamics, that's a complex thing. And for some, marriage may be a complex thing. But is there a way to break this complexity? Anybody?
Think simple.
Sorry?
Think simple.
Yeah, think simple. Very good. Very good. So there is a technique called as Feynman technique. I wanted to let you know about this in this particular session. What that means is there are three main activities involved in that. Organize your thoughts, simplify what you told, and then tell a story. All these three things are important. What you have to do here is identify the subject, whether it is thermodynamics or algebra, whatever it is. Write down everything you know about the topic and teach it to your child. The child may hate, but you will learn. That is the biggest concept you can learn from this Feynman technique. What are the complex things that are there? Just write it down, organize it, and simplify it, and then tell about a story. And Toastmasters can help in all these three. If you attend any other session, you can see how to organize your thoughts. Simplify those in the form of scripting and sculpting your thoughts and telling a story. All these three things will come naturally if you join any of the Toastmaster session. So if you are not a Toastmaster, please ensure that you join Toastmaster sessions and understand these three things. And please also take active part in Toastmasters, whether you have roles or not. Just by listening Toastmasters itself, you can learn a lot. So that is one of the important things as far as the Toastmasters session is concerned. And one important announcement, we have our club humorous as well as evaluation contest happening on 25th of September, that is next week, Saturday. And if you have not enrolled for that, please ensure that you reach out to Toastmaster Dinakaran. He's the contest chair. And we have two eminent persons for contest masters as well. That is Toastmaster Raghunath Mishra as well as Toastmaster Shubhashini, who will be playing those contest master role for that particular club contest. And I see a few guests who have joined. Can I get some introduction and what prompted you to join this session, and what is that? What is your expectation on this session as such? I can see Moinak, a guest. Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah,
Moinak?
sure. So I am Moinak, and I am from. So currently I'm living in Chennai, but I am originally from West Bengal. So I am mechanical engineering by profession, and I am working as a head of product for one of the startups. But before that, I was based out of Sweden. So I spent 4 years in Europe, in Sweden, while studying, and then I was working in a company there. This is about me, but in free time I like reading a lot. I like photography, and I like traveling a lot. So about joining, why I wanted to join Toastmasters. So it's a long story. So the thing is, before I was going to Sweden, when I was in Kolkata in my hometown, I attended one session of Toastmaster there as a guest. I really liked that, and I felt that there are a lot of things I have to do on myself. I have to improve my speaking skills. How do I, as you said, that how do you organize thoughts and everything. But after that, I somehow could not continue that because of the life became much more tiring and much more. It was very tough to fit Toastmaster thing in my timeline. Now I feel like it's the right time to do that. So I came back and I thought maybe I can take it forward. So yeah.
Thank you, Moinak. We welcome you for all the sessions. And by the way, do you like thermodynamics?
Not much. So I'm not really design. Yeah.
Okay, fine. In fact, I was also a mechanical engineer, and the wavelength surely matches. Thank you. And is there any other guest who would like to share their thoughts on why they would like to join or like this session? I don't see any guests. Thank you very much. And for conducting this session and to take these meetings forward, we have TMOD, that is called as Toastmaster of the Day, to manage the meeting and adhering to the agenda to ensure that the meeting starts as well as ends on the right time. And he's like a DJ. Okay. And then for example, like for today's session, we have Toastmaster Ram Prasad, who is playing this Toastmaster of the Day role. And Ram Prasad is an IT professional, and he is passionate in process simplification and improving productivity at work. He was the past area director and past president of Medley. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Ram Prasad.
Thank you so much, Presiding Officer Saravanan. It is good afternoon, Toastmasters and all the guests present here. Imagine a boat in the middle of the ocean, as like the picture here. Can you say where the boat headed to? It depends, right? If the boat has no captain, no drive, no rudder, it might lead to anywhere in the ocean. It takes somewhere by the winds, waves, and currents. What will happen to the boat? The course can change, with the waves. Based on the climatic conditions, it may head to somewhere else. Now, what it needs to get into the destination? It needs a captain, right? And a rudder, of course, that navigate some navigation systems like GPS or traditional navigation systems. Imagine your life is a boat in the ocean. Winds, waves, currents, and everything represents forces on your life. You need to adjust your priorities. You need to plan your work perfectly to ensure you are moving into the right direction. You are getting into accomplishing the things which is really matters to you. To do that, there is a framework called personal agility systems, which has been inspired by traditional agile software development. Most of the software engineers out there should be tired of hearing this agility and agile in their organization. This personal agility is inspired from the traditional software development, which shares the same values and principles. To simplify and everything, this helps to identify what really matters to you, and it helps you to identify what is your priorities and ensure that is the actions which you need to align with. As I said, the core principles are very simple. You need to inspect and adapt at regular intervals, produce something value at regular intervals. There is one thing which is answers every questions, and it has the answer is why you are doing it. A coach, you need a coach, helps to get better. Let's move on to the regular meeting and let's see how this personal agility can be implemented in your life, and you can be more productive and achieve your goals in a better way. Every Toastmaster meeting, it has been done by a Toastmaster of the day, that is me, and not just me. I have a team of people. I have the general evaluator, timer, accounter, and grammarian, and we have 3 segments traditionally in Toastmaster meetings. One is prepared speech session, next evaluation, another one is table topics. In today's session, we have a special session of educational session by DTM Saravel Rajan. To join me in conducting in this meeting, I will ask our general evaluator to proceed with the next things. Today, the general evaluator is DTM Sambat Sauri Rajan. He is a charter member of 3 clubs, including Medley. Has been member of 8 clubs in 3 countries during the last 20 years. Still loves Toastmasters. As a child, till 20, he had daily opportunity to test agility. His Catch Me If You Can game usually included a 3D effect with climbing trees and jumping off. That helped me to be agile in his childhood. Later on, his quick wit demonstrate his agility till now. Put your hands together and welcome DTM Sambat Sauri Rajan, the general evaluator for today's meeting.
Good afternoon, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my very revered guest. General evaluation actually consists of an administrative evaluation by the general evaluator and parametric evaluation by tag role players and project evaluation by assigned evaluators. To just conduct the whole session is the main responsibility of general evaluator. And we know evaluation is one of the USPs we use about Toastmasters. Many people, when they come and see the evaluation, the style of evaluation in Toastmasters, they are highly impressed. That is one of the reasons they join also. Now, today, I shall introduce now my tag team and ask them to brief their role. Today's timer is Toastmaster Dharani. He joined Medley very recently, but he has been a Toastmaster earlier. So he is a sports biochemist and founder of Dynamic Strength Club. He says, I believe life is a movement. Without movement, life is unthinkable. I love to move and keep moving people forward towards their fitness goals. There is a gap, he says, between stimulus and response. If your response comes too late, you are really slow. You are not agile. That's what he is coming to. There's a gap between stimulus and response. The moment we find and understand it, the personal agility improves drastically. We know which can and which cannot be controlled. May I now request the timer to give a brief introduction of his role today, Toastmaster Dharani.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Good afternoon. My name is Dharan and I'm going to be the timer of today's meeting. I'll be timing the entire meeting, like prepared speeches, table topic speeches, and evaluation as well. I will alert the speakers, denoting red card, green card, and yellow card, which has specific timings. For the icebreaker speeches, it's going to be 4 to 6 minutes. At the end of the 4th minute, I'm going to display this green background. At the end of the 5th minute, I'll be going to display this red background, and at the yellow background. At the end of the 6th minute, I'm going to be display this red background. For the most common speeches, other than icebreaker speeches, it's going to be 5 to 7 minutes. At the 5th minute, I'm going to display the green background. At the 6th minute, I'm going to display the yellow background. At the 7th minute, I'll be displaying the red background. People who are exceeding more than 30 seconds, which means if they exceed 7 minutes, 30 seconds, they are qualified for the best speaker contest. For the table topic speeches, it's going to be 1 to 2 minutes. At the end of the 1st minute, I'm going to display the green background. At the end of the 1 minute 30 seconds, I'm going to display the yellow background. At the end of the 2 minutes, I'm going to display the red background. More than 2 minutes 30 seconds, the speaker will be disqualified. For evaluation, it's going to be 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of the 2nd minute, I'm going to display this green background. At the end of the 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'm going to display the yellow background. At the 3rd minute, I'll be going to display the red background. More than 3 minutes 30 seconds, the evaluator will be disqualified. At the end of the meeting, when called upon by general evaluator, I shall present my report. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you very much. Being the first role you are playing, you have demonstrated agility, quick adaptation to the situation. Next role player to come is our counter, Toastmaster Yogesh. He is also a brand new Toastmaster Medley. He is an information and cyber security professional. Through his job, he is learning to draw parallels between various aspects of life and how they are interlinked to one another. In this fast-paced world, he says, where news and fake news lands in your palm every hour, it is imperative for us and our dear ones to develop personal agility to ensure common sense prevails. May I now request the accountant Toastmaster Yogesh to outline his role today.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster. So distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a warm good evening to you all. The purpose of my role is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen for overused words, including and well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I I or this means at the end of the meeting. I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Toastmaster. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Well done. Now comes the third role player, grammarian, Toastmaster Venkatesan, our good old warhorse. For many years, he has been a regular member. He is one of the maximum attendance members, if you want to know. And he is very fond of table topic and in contesting. He works as a domain expert in a leading IPR firm in Chennai, intellectual property rights firm in Chennai. So he urges everyone to have a positive attitude, win or lose. That is his trick for agility. May I now request Toastmaster Venkatesan to talk about his grammarian role. Toastmaster Venkatesan.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Today, as a grammarian, I'm going to make a note of good usage of grammar, good usage of words, as well as wrong usage and the unique grammar used throughout the meeting, right from suggestion items to general evaluator report. Today, the word of the day is skeptical. The usage of a sentence of this word, according to me, is he is highly skeptical about the researcher's claims.
Yes, do you have anything more to say?
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'll support my report at the end of the meeting.
Okay. Toastmasters are used to being optimistic all the time, but if you want to have a display of agility, you should also be capable of being skeptical. You cannot be always optimistic. Now, in the next session, we are going to see the ability of the people, and in the TT session, we will see the agility of the people, and in the evaluation session later on, we will see the analytical aspect of the people. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Let's move on to the next session, the prepared speeches session. It is the 5 to 7 minutes is the timing limit. 5 minutes is the green, 6 is amber, and 7. So if it is more than 7 minutes, 30 seconds, speaker is disqualified. To give the first prepared speech, we have Toastmaster Dinesh. Toastmaster Dinesh is the MBA graduate working in his own construction company in Chennai. He has played a lot of roles in Toastmasters in Medley as well. Before we get into Toastmaster Dinesh's speech, shall we have Toastmaster Venkatesan, who is this evaluator for today, to read out the project objective.
Thanks, TMOD. Toastmaster Dinesh will be presenting his speech on Pathway Persuasive Influence Level 1, Project 2, Evaluation and Feedback, Speech 1. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech of any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback on his second speech. Today's speech will be the first one in which the member will present a speech on his selected topic, and he will receive feedback from the evaluator, that is myself, which will be using it for his next speech. Timer, please note the speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Dinesh. Back to you, Team Modi. Thank you.
Thank you, Evaluator Venkatesan. Toastmaster Dinesh, green furl, Toastmaster Dinesh. All the best, Dinesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramprasad, for the warm welcome. I know that most Medleyians and guests today will be drivers, but I want to ask you a more specific question. What are the most important factors that you would look into if you're going to buy a car?
Brand value.
Safety.
Yes, thank you, Sir Venkatesan.
Safety.
Safety.
Mileage.
I will look at it brand value of the car.
Brand value. Someone said mileage as well.
I will see the safety.
Mileage. Okay. Thank you, Periyasamy. Someone else? What would you want to see if you want to buy a car? What would you look at?
Driving pleasure.
Sorry?
Driving pleasure.
Driving pleasure. Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Saravanan. As you all heard, brand value, mileage, driving pleasure, all these are important factors when buying a car. But what if I say that there is a few in which all of these are satisfied? Driving value, mileage, and though brand value may differ from brand of car to car, but this is a few in which you can get good mileage at a less cost of price of car as well. Other factors may include as well. For example, some people may say that a car needs to have lower carbon emissions as well, which is also an important factor. And the answer to all these questions is CNG. Even CNG. A very good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Even me, a few months ago, didn't know what CNG is all about. Suddenly, when I was sitting, a person called from the Bharat Petroleum office and said, "Do you want to have CNG installed in your bunk?" I first asked, "What is the CNG? Is it the brother of Modi ji or Rahul ji? Something like that, or is it like CNG?" He said, No. You don't know what CNG is all about. It's the future." And so I kept the phone. I then Googled about it and I talked about it to mechanics and people who are expert in CNG. And then I found out what a remarkable fuel that is. What a remarkable alternative it is to petrol and diesel. I will just share my screen. I hope everyone can see it, right? Yeah, thank you. So CNG is nothing but compressed natural gas. And where do we get this CNG? We get it from methane, compressed less than 1% of its volume under standard atmospheric pressure. It is then stored in cylinders at a pressure of 25 megapascals. Where do we get this methane from? The second question. In India, we get almost 50% of the methane, but we also export it from countries like the USA and Middle East as well. And thirdly, the CNG, how many pumps do we have in India? In India, we have around 3,200, but in Chennai, we have only 25 CNGs. Tamil Nadu is one of the later states in which CNG is being slowly adopted. India has been using CNG for a very long time, way before I was even born, in the year 1993, when it was first introduced in Delhi. It was first used only for industrial purpose. There are many benefits of CNG, but before I could list any of them, someone in our crowd, has anyone used a CNG vehicle?
In Delhi, it was introduced actually as an alternative to reduce the pollution. And many of the cars was a compulsory one to have the CNG cylinder in that. They fitted along with the other petrol
Thank
tank.
you, doctor. Very well said.
Yeah.
One of the most important factors is pollution. And one by one we see it's a lower price. The first one we see is, for example, petrol is now priced at rupees 100, diesel at 95, but CNG costs just 50 rupees. The second is green gas. As doctor said rightly, there are very less emittance in CNG vehicle. There are zero carbon emissions as well. In Delhi, for example, as he said, 95% of the industries today have converted to CNG. It was not the same 2 years ago. That's why there's a drastic reduction of pollution in Delhi today when you compare it 2 years ago. Better mileage. A petrol vehicle, if it gives 10 kilometers mileage, a CNG vehicle would give 15. So obviously in India, if you go and buy a car, anyone would ask, mileage kitna hai? The most important factor in buying a vehicle, and less maintenance. Last week, if you would have seen, Ford Motors in India had closed, such a big company, but their maintenance costed a lot. So if you take a CNG vehicle, and even if you could retrofit it one, you could get very less maintenance, probably just around 2 rupees a kilometer. The driving comfort, one of the most important factors is, I'm sure most of you people in Chennai would like to have a long drive along the East Coast Road from Thiruvanmiyur to Mahabalipuram. Such a beautiful stretch of ride. To have such a beautiful ride, we need to have the comfort as well. And CNG gives such a smooth comfort when you drive it. And finally, if all these factors are not satisfied, the most important factor of all of them is national interest. As I previously said, almost 50% of CNG in the form of methane gas is produced within India. In a few years, India will almost become self-sufficient because there are various methane extraction projects going all around in India in more than 10 places, including in our own Tamil Nadu in the Kaveri belt. Similarly, but crude oil, for example, even today, 90% of it is imported outside. Per year, I saw in the statistics from Business Standard that India spends 7 lakh crore rupees to buying crude oil. Just imagine what a huge amount Indians would save if Indians were to use CNG, which is obtained already from India itself. Perhaps India's currency will appreciate a lot. That's what experts believe. And if this is not and if there is support you to change to CNG, this one would. This is a screenshot of an article from Cars 24. As you can very well see, it shows that if a car, which most people use, travels from 25 kilometers to 60 kilometers a day, most people it's better to change it or retrofit it into a CNG car. This is a comparison being done by CNG vehicle versus petrol or diesel vehicle, which one to buy at one stage. And you can clearly see that for both normal driving and for a driving above average, CNG is best, as mentioned by Cars 24, which is India's leading second-hand car company, which is an article about it and a screenshot about it. Finally, I would even say that CNG is not meant by buying a new CNG car. One can easily retrofit as well. For example, this is a CNG retrofitted car in which a 20 kg cylinder is being built upon. This is a Wagoner. Or similarly, you could even buy a CNG car which has both petrol and CNG in it side by side. For it to cost perhaps a diesel retrofitting would cost maybe 1 lakh, and a petrol retrofitting would cost about 1 lakh. For 6-wheelers or 8-wheelers, such as commercial vehicle, it would cost maybe around 2 to 3 lakhs. And the recovery time is, for example, 5 months. Just imagine if you're giving almost 5,000 rupees a day, 5,000 rupees a month on petrol, and you're using CNG, you'd probably save 2,000 or 3,000 rupees of flat among them. Although there are so many advantages of CNG, there are a few disadvantages which one has to take into control. The first is, as I already said, there are very few CNG stations, just 25 in Chennai right now. But by the year end, there will be more than 100. This is a very big myth among people who don't know about CNG. They say that CNG class just explode suddenly because it's made of, because it's a gas which is not, which we cannot know, which we are very skeptical about, if I may say, but it's not like that. The ignition point of CNG is 700, whereas for petrol it's 400. So first, petrol vehicles are more likely to burst into flames than CNG vehicle. It's one of the biggest myths which prevents people from using CNG. And finally, loss of boot space. We all like to travel to our hometown in South Tamil Nadu or wherever, Kerala or anywhere. If we have to retrofit it, naturally, where do we keep our luggages? So this is why many people don't want to change their vehicles into CNG. Thank you, everyone, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Dinesh. I believe that cleared a lot of queries people have about the CNG vehicles. Next, we have Toastmaster Kalyan. Will be giving his prepared speeches. Toastmaster Kalyan is our current club retention chair. He is known for his preparation and planning. He was the program chair in Ovation 2019, and all you could see a lot of sticky notes and a lot of planners in his notepad and planners. So that is how agile he planned everything, not just for the week, the month, and for the years. Today, Kalyan going to give his innovative planning level 1, project 3, research and presenting. It is a 5 to 7 minute speech. This evaluator is Toastmaster Saranya. Saranya, can you please read out the project objective?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Kalyan, who will be doing his project in the path innovation planning level 1, project 3, and the project name is researching and presenting. The purpose statement of this is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized and well-researched speech on any topic. Timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Saranya. Toastmaster Kalyan, it's a cry for help. It's a cry for help, Toastmaster Kalyan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Friends, we all know people fear death. The second thing which people fear is public speaking. We are all here with full of hope to improve that particular public speaking. If you notice, while starting the speech, I took my mobile in hand. Before me starting to share this particular slide, I clicked on my timer. Now, my timer has changed to 40 seconds. My dear friends, somebody out there in this world don't know what to do in life, lost all the hope, and have committed suicide. 40 seconds, every 40 seconds in this world, somebody out there takes their own life, don't know what to do. Let's get on to the facts of why suicide happens in this world. A lot of research has been done by World Health Organization, and there is another specific agency which is called as International Association for Suicide Prevention. And there is another agency which is called Befrienders Worldwide. World Health Organization, everybody know, and then IASP we call, that is International Association for Suicide Prevention. They do a lot of work on suicide prevention and other things. Befrienders Worldwide is another organization. They have some 7 million volunteers. Yes, you heard it right, 7 million volunteers. They have some presence in 139 countries. They have a lot of organizations predominantly in suicide prevention. If we get into the facts of what happens with suicide, you would have read the slide. What is there? Over 7 lakh people commit suicide in the world in every year. As I said, 40 seconds once somebody out there dies attempting suicide. And it is always, as the slide goes, this is the statistics which we have in the world. 1.3% of the total death is suicide, and 77% comes only from the low and middle income. We need to ask few questions. Does the rich and elite don't worry about it, or it doesn't get reported in the same way? The poor and the downtrodden, whether they don't commit suicide or it doesn't get reported, we do not know. And again, the main cause of suicide is ingestion of pesticide, hanging, and firearms. Let's not now confuse this with farmer suicide. Pesticide and other things are very easily available, so people go take that as a norm and then they commit suicide. Now let's come back to the scene. What happens in India? India has 139,000 people. Yeah, that is 139,000 people in India commit suicide, which means we contribute 19% of the suicide to the world. Female ratio is 70, male ratio is 29. Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, and Karnataka is a step in which people commit suicide. If you look at it, a very small, interesting, maybe I would say the thing is 10 years before, 15 years before, Kerala used to head suicide prevention. I mean, the sense suicide as a maximum suicide. But literacy rate in Kerala become 100%. Probably anything to do with literacy rate or something to do with what are the parameters why Kerala is not in that particular top 10 list in the suicide, we do not know, but the trend changes. When you come back to the urban constitutes 36%. There again, one particular, this source has been given by NCRB. NCRB is National Crime Records Bureau of India. They say we do not know why 36% is this given. There may be a possibility in rural, it may not be reported also. So this 36% is again a skeptical number which we have. 2019, in Bihar alone, from 2019, 7%, there is a multifold of 7% suicide is getting increased. Why? We do not know. Very sad part here is age group of suicide throughout the world is 18 to 19. My dear friends, understand somebody who needs to construct their life, somebody who needs to settle down in their life, somebody who needs to really understand what is life all about, and then they take their life. 18 to 30 is the maximum number of suicide which happen throughout the world. Coincidentally, in 2020 alone, above 60 years of people have committed suicide, probably because of pandemic or some other reasons. There again, we don't know the exact reason. This is just the statistics which you have not qualified or quantified by any of the organizations whom I mentioned before. So let's get into what are the causes. Family problem, illness, drug abuse. I'll just put in a chart here. So suppose if you're going to link it with family problem as husband and wife problems, no. Marital problem is only 5.5. Family problems is what people will say the main reason to commit suicide. This again works on with a percentage. There are few signals. We always say people who think about suicide, they don't commit suicide. People who speak about suicide, they don't commit suicide. No, it is not that way. People who want to commit suicide, they somehow mention what they want to do and how they want to take it. So these are all the parameters we need to understand, signals we need to understand with reference to suicide. There is the myth which normally happens. People who speak about suicide will not commit suicide. No, that fellow attempted already once. No, he will not commit suicide. And no, he always keeps about suicide. No, he will not commit. No, not at all that way. People, they want to commit suicide. They somehow in the conversation, they mention. But the one thing is, it's not, they have a clear path. It's not that they want to die. They say, I need help. What is it suicide preventable? Yes. How? We as fellow human beings take that particular person, get expert help, and you get involved. You speak to them, you listen to them. At the end of the day, my dear friends, suicide, it's a cry for help. Be there for someone who needs that help. Let that 40 seconds come down to whatever maximum possible. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Kalyan, for that insightful speech. Next, we have in line Toastmaster Shankar. Toastmaster Shankar is the cost accountant. He's working as a finance domain in more than 16 years in HSBC Bank right now. Now he is working in one of the US embassy as the managerial position. Shankar going to give his speech in Dynamic Leadership Level 3 Project 1, negotiating the best outcome. His evaluator is DTM Guru Prasad. So can we have DTM Guru Prasad to read out his project objective?
Thank you very much, TMOD. Toastmaster Shankar, as TMOD announced, will be delivering his speech from Dynamic Leadership Path, Level 3 and Project 1, which is negotiating the best outcome. The purpose of his project are for the member to learn about different types of negotiation and strategies that can be used when negotiating. And the purpose of the speech he is going to give is for the member to share some aspect of a past or future negotiation in his or her life. Timer, please note his time limits are between 5 and 7 minutes. All the best and over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Nia Nana, Shankar, Nia Nana, Toastmaster Shankar.
Okay, thank you, DMOD. Am I audible? Can I have the thumbs up? DMOD, please. Okay, thank you. Timer, now you start my time. In the year 2014, I went to Vietnam along with 3 of my colleagues for business meeting. After our meeting, we came to know that there is a famous market called Benton Market where they sell electronic items, apparels, watches, and other products at an extremely cheap price. When we are about to enter the shops, the shop owner stopped us. In fact, many of the shop owner has joined with them and started boycotting us. We were terrified and scared. Fellow Toastmaster and honorable guests, good afternoon. I would like to discuss with you such an interesting topic today, which we do on our day-to-day basis. That is negotiation. And what is negotiation? It's a simple negotiation is a type of formal discussion with the goal of reaching the agreement between two or more people. In our competitive world today, we all negotiate with each other right from morning to night. Be it asking a cup of coffee from your mother, wife, or husband in the morning till switch off the light before we sleep. We all use unique ways to negotiate styles or strategy to attain the desired result. I would like to share with you a couple of the situations where I had used my negotiation style in those difficult situations. It happened when some years ago, my previous company booked the flight ticket to attend one of the important seminars in Delhi. So my flight was at 5 a.m. on Monday. I packed everything by Sunday night itself. Around 10 p.m. on Sunday, I realized that I need to carry a physical copy of ticket at the time. Flight traveler must carry a ticket of copy to show to the security guard. I must to take the printout. Being Sunday, all the shops were closed. My situation was very terrible bad at the time. I called some of my friends, but they didn't have any printer at the time. And everyone told me that better to contact with Karthik, one of our common friend who stays near your home. So I didn't want to ask any help from Karthik because it was little crazy and very difficult to take any help from them. But something sparked on my mind. Then I called Karthik around 11 p.m. Fortunately, he lifted my call and asked, "What do you want, Shankar?" So this was his tone. I told, "Sorry to bother you. I know, Karthik, this is the I know it is very untime, but I don't have any choice. That's why I called you." He said, "Yeah, yeah." So based on my situation, he realized that something is going on fishy. I told him, "Karthik, I'm in emergency situation now. I need 50,000 rupees from you." You are shocked when I asked, "Oh, sorry, Shankar, no, sad to say that I don't have the cash now, but you can ask me any help other than money." I'm waiting for this reply from him. After a long pause, I asked him, "Okay, Karthik, at least, take the printout of my travel ticket." Then he agreed to take my printout at that time. Since I asked a bigger favor at the time, my actual help seemed doable for him, which is otherwise would have rejected me. I used my collaborative style to win this situation. My next example happened a couple of years ago. Our family went to Karnataka trip for 5 days. On our last days of our trip, due to poor weather condition, we were forced to stay in a Chikmagalur. When we checking into the hotel manager asked about our trip, and I told him, "So I'm staying here just for a night and will leave to Chennai in the early morning." But he was saying that, "Sir, Chikmagalur is a heaven for tourists. Why don't you explore this place, just extending one more day in your trip and show some of the photos?" Trust me, the photos were mind blowing. I was impressed and astonished. Fortunately, at the time, my wife already checked into the room already. For me, like all the husband, it's very difficult to convince my wife to extend our trip in a day because my wife is so skeptical. In addition, she had to attend one of his family function day after tomorrow. So you can imagine my situation at the time. Again, something flashed into my mind. There is a famous Tamil movie called Saduranga Vetai. In that movie, there is an ultimate dialogue. If you want to cheat other people, you need to trigger their desire. With that in my mind, I started the conversation with my wife like that. "Hey, mom, people say that Chikmagalur is famous for world-class coffee. Many countries import seed from Chikmagalur, and there is a first quality of spices are available here. More than that, you can find pure cotton sarees in this place. It's up to you. We can extend our trip today, or it will be good for us, or otherwise we will head to Chennai tomorrow to attend the family function." She blinked a moment. After some time, she told me that, okay, we will extend one more day in Chikmagalur and we can skip the function. That was her tone. Trust me, that was one of the amazing trips so far we had in family. So these two incidents always come into my mind whenever I heard the word negotiation. You must be someone wondering what happened to us in Vietnam and how that incident related to this topic, right? Benton market is a Vietnam. Benton market in Vietnam is a bargaining market. They allow the people to bargain, but they are unable to match with the Indian bargaining power. Hence, most of the shop owners are resisting Indian even to enter the Benton market in Vietnam. TMOD, can you make a note of it, please?
Thank you so much, Shankar, for that wonderful speech. All right, so please confirm if you can see my screen. I'm getting some low network traffic in my system. Please, someone verbally confirm you can see the screen.
Yes, visible.
Yes.
All right, we were talking about the personal agility and how to do the things which is really matters for our life, right? So how to find out what really matters and figure out where your focus should go on. There is this personal agility system, the framework suggests to ask 6 powerful questions before you make any decisions. The first one is the key, and that gives the idea of all other things as well. What really matters? This provides context for answering all your questions here. What did I get done this week? The software engineers out there, don't get confused just with your daily stand-up call. This is the celebration of what you have achieved in the last week. So as we already discussed, this is an iterative process. You will be completing something in an iterative. The week may be one iteration. Celebrating what you have done in the last week is the first step. What could you do for the rest of the life is creating a to-do list and placing it somewhere is the next item. Of course, once you got the to-do list, it is the time to prioritize it, triaging what the to-do list has on what is important and what is urgent is the next step. Once you got the urgent and important items, the next is what you could do from that list for the next week. This gives a list for you as well. And another question you have to ask is who can help you to achieve your list? All the things. For example, you may want, this can be applied in Toastmaster level as well. So you may want to finish your one path within one term, maybe 6 months or 1 year. That the prioritization is giving the speeches, attending the regular Toastmaster meeting, the team attacking roles, and participating in contest, all can be in to-do list. What you can do for the next week, either you wanted to prepare for the contest or prepare for the role player, that you could do in the next week in your list. All this needs, it is not just preparing one to-do list and having it in one place and organizing it. It needs a commitment to achieve it, right? To know how to keep the commitment, we have a wonderful training session from DTM Saravel Rajan. DTM Saravel Rajan is the veteran Toastmaster. He is now the Chief Strategy Officer at Incos, India. He has been a Toastmaster from 2006 and achieved his TTM in 2012. He is passionate about blogging, mentoring, and public speaking. People may not have visited toastmaster.org, but all the Toastmasters might have visited Saro's blog, Saro's call. Put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster DTM Saravel Rajan for the education session.
Mr. T. Modi, with your permission, shall we close the polling before we invite the education speakers so that people's mind are fresh with the speeches? They can vote.
Of course, yes.
Will you please confirm with the timer?
Yeah. Timer, can you please read the qualified prepared speakers?
Toastmaster Kalyan.
Sorry, you're not audible.
Toastmaster
You're not audible clearly, Dharan.
I'm audible now?
Yeah, please read out the qualified names alone.
Toastmaster Kalyan and Toastmaster Shankar are qualified for the poll.
Okay. Oh, then give me a minute. I need to make a small edit. Here you go. Please show your personal agility in voting for the best speaker.
All right, I believe we can proceed with the next session. Put your hands together and welcome DTM Saravel Rajan for the training session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and my dear Sergeant and Terms, Guru Prasad sir, for displaying your commitment today. You wanted to finish the job before the session progress. When I hear the term commitment, what comes to my mind is the contract that I signed some 16 years back. That's one of the biggest commitments that I ever made. Yes, folks, I'm talking about my marriage. Thank God I'm able to sail through that commitment and keeping up with the expectations. Don't worry, today I'm not going to talk about my marriage life and bore you. I have reserved that for the humorous speech contest. Today, I'm going to talk about the commitment that each one of us made when we joined Toastmasters. It's not just a commitment that we made to the organization Toastmasters International or a commitment that we made to the club officers of our club. It's a commitment that we made to ourselves. Our past international president, Helen Blanchard, says, if you get out of Toastmasters, all that you can get out of Toastmasters, you will never get out of Toastmasters. I'll repeat it. If you get out of Toastmasters, all that you can get out of Toastmasters, you will never get out of Toastmasters. That's a very powerful quote, and that emphasizes the importance of keeping up our commitment and maximizing the opportunities provided by Toastmasters International. So in my speech today, I'm going to cover two specific topics. One, what does it mean by keeping up the commitment? And number two, how you can keep up the commitment. So let's dive into what does it mean by keeping the commitment in Toastmasters. Toastmasters International has listed out a set of 10 promises that each one of us made when we signed our membership application and joined this organization called Toastmasters International. And when we were indebted into the club, our club VP membership walked us through these promises and got a commitment from us. And my job today is to refresh your memory about the commitments that you made, and thereby refreshing myself about the commitment that I made when I joined Toastmasters. The first promise is about participation. Participation is very critical, and it's very similar to your membership in a gym or your membership in a dance class or a music class. Unless you go and participate, you will not be able to capitalize on the opportunities. Toastmasters International is not a Toastmasters program is not a correspondence course where you just read the materials and become an overnight public speaker or an overnight leader. you can maximize the benefit of Toastmasters program only by participating in meetings. Now, I can understand that participating meetings regularly is a challenge for many of us, but the request that I have for each one of you is participate at least a couple of meetings every month, if not all the meetings. And when you participate in the meetings, ensure that you are performing at least a role in a club meeting. It can be a prepared speech, it can be a Toastmaster of the Day, General Evaluator, Timer, Art Counter, Grammarian type of roles, or at the least participate in the impromptu speaking session by telling the Table Topics Master of the Day that you are interested to deliver a speech. So participation in meetings is very critical, number one. Number two, preparation. And this is an area where I've seen some of the Toastmasters slack. I've had instances where a new Toastmaster walks into the club and asks me, sir, if I attend the meetings 2 to 3 months, can I become a great speaker? And I used to smile at them and tell them, you will go through an experience, you will go through a transformation, and that transformation can happen in 3 months or the transformation can happen over a year. It's completely up to you. So many of us don't realize the true potential of the Toastmasters program because we don't do adequate preparation for some of our roles. We think that we can just wing it. While when we go to the stage and perform our role, or when we sit in front of the camera and perform our role, we get that nervousness, we make mistakes. I'm very impressed by Guru Prasad sir's attire that shows the amount of preparation that he has done to perform his role as a Sergeant at Arms. And similarly, the club president, Saravanan P. It shows their commitment towards preparing for their role. They have to look like an executive and they have prepared for that role. So preparation is very critical. And in order to prepare for your roles, there are abundant materials available in toastmasters.org. There is abundant information available under the pathways section. There is so many PDFs that are available. My request to you would be to go through the PDF at least once before you perform the role. In fact, in the past, we used to have these printed manuals, and I used to read the project objectives, not those 3-4 bullets, which is what most people read. Read through the entire program, the project details, and read it at least 2 or 3 times. Because only when you read it 2 to 3 times, you will realize that there are so many expectations from that project. When you read through those 3 or 4 bullet objectives, probably you may think, okay, these are the only objectives, but there are many more. Not only that, when you prepare for the role, you will learn how to do the role better. So that's why preparation is important, number 2. And number 3, rehearsal, rehearsal, rehearsal. So it's not just enough if you write your speech and read the project objectives and prepare for your speech. It's very important that you rehearse for your role. The beauty of Toastmasters program is the more you rehearse for the role, the better your performance becomes. And it's very similar to learning cycling or swimming. The more you do it, the better you become at it. And it is not applicable just for speaking roles. It is very important even for leadership roles. You can rehearse for those leadership roles. And the Toastmaster of the Day talked about the attention to the details that Toastmaster Kalyan pays. That shows that he has tried so many things to ensure that nothing fails, right? So whatever techniques that we learn here, we can apply them in our workplace as well, especially when you are doing a program management or an event coordination. So the more you rehearse, the more dry runs that you do, the more thinking through of the end-to-end sequence that you do when you are organizing events or when you are playing a leadership role, it ensures that the end-to-end is connected and it's tightened and nothing falls apart. And that's why it's very important for you to rehearse. So participate, prepare, and rehearse. So these are the 3 critical components that is expected from any Toastmaster. So that's 3 out of 10. So the remaining, the second section is about interacting with others. So the first 3 you can pretty much do on your own and probably with the help of a mentor. But the next 4 that I'm going to talk about needs the support of the fellow club members. The first one is providing a friendly environment for members to feel connected. The beauty of Toastmasters program is you feel really connected with other members because they are all like very warm, they are very caring, they really want to help you out. And as a Toastmaster, you have that obligation to help others by exhibiting the similar warmth and friendliness. So that is an expectation, and that's a promise that we have made to Toastmasters. And number two, giving constructive evaluations. It is so easy to say, Toastmaster Kalyan, the next time that you do a speech, you have to be focused on your vocal variety. How many times should I tell you that you have to be checking your camera well ahead of the meeting and not during this meeting, right? So instead of saying this, I can say, Toastmaster Kalyan, what an informative speech it was. I'm amazed by the number of statistics and the amount of research that you have done for this project. If there is one thing that I want you to focus on, probably try experimenting with the camera before the meeting happens. That way you are fully there when the meeting is going on. So giving constructive evaluation is a promise that we have made, not just to ourselves, but also for the fellow Toastmasters, because giving constructive feedback helps you to transform an individual from just an ordinary speaker to an extraordinary speaker. So number 5, giving constructive feedback. So providing a friendly and caring environment and providing constructive feedback to others. Number 3, network. When I joined Toastmasters, I used to be like an absconding Toastmaster. I'll tell you what that I mean by that. I'll come to the meeting just 10 minutes before the meeting, and I'll vanish immediately after the meeting is over. I used to always think that this high tea session or the networking session that happens after the meeting is over is so-called waste of time. But later, after my mentors pushed me to participate in those networking sessions, I realized that I can develop my interpersonal skills when I meet new people, when I greet new people, and when I interact with new people during those networking sessions. So it helped me to break the ice, not just for whenever I meet new people, but also it helps me to connect with anybody. And that skill is very helpful when you walk into corporates and when you're dealing with customers. So it's very important for you to network. And the last item in terms of interacting with others is sign up as a club officer. And one thing that naturally happens in our Toastmasters community is when you are regular to the club meeting for a few weeks in a row or a few months in a row, they'll automatically grab you into playing a club officer role, whether you like it or not. But whenever you get that opportunity to play the role of a club officer, ensure that you are signing up for it. It doesn't matter whether it's a sergeant at arms role or a treasurer role or a VP education, membership, president, doesn't matter what the role is, sign up for the role. In fact, I signed up for a role like a sergeant at arms role, thinking that it's just a mundane role, running around and all that. But I realized that it helps me to develop my communication skill because I get to introduce the president creatively every week. And number 2, it helps me to develop my interpersonal skills. So sign up for a club officer role when there is somebody asking for it. And the last section, the third section is about meeting the quality obligations of the club. And you can help the club to run quality speeches and offer a quality learning environment for others by following a few things. 1, bring guests into the meeting, because guests bring in new perspective. When there are new members in the club, you will feel more energized, right? At least when you bring a guest to the meeting, there will be somebody to clap when you are making a speech. So ensure that you are bringing in new members or new guests into the meeting. Follow ethical standards. In Pathways, you can just do click, submit, and you can become a DTM today. But titles, those certificates do not have any value unless you make an effort to maximize the opportunities provided by Toastmasters by participating in meetings, by preparing for your roles, by rehearsing effectively. So it's very important that you follow the ethical standards, right? And the last one is respect, integrity, service, then ethics, the RISE standard. Toastmasters International has a set of guidelines and standards. Ensure that you are following all of them. So that's equally important. Okay. So with that, I'll switch to my second segment of the topic, which is, did I cover all the 10 or did I stop at 9? Let me check how many of you have been taking notes.
Yeah, you have covered most of them. I have been taking notes.
Fantastic, sir. Okay, thank you so much. So let's switch to the other segment about how to keep up the commitment. This is the tricky part, right? Toastmasters promise you can go and read Toastmasters International website, and there is also a PDF which I'll share after the segment is over. The second aspect is to how to keep up the commitment. How Toastmasters like DTM Sampath or Guru Prasad sir or Saro Velrajan has been with the movement for so long, and still they are allocating time for Toastmasters, still they feel energized, still they are very active. Wherever you go, you see such people, right? So how to keep up the commitment? Number one, there is 4 steps that I will share with you. The first step is have a vision. When I joined Toastmasters, the problem that I had is I always used to think in Tamil, translate my thoughts into English, and then express my thoughts. That's the problem that I had. And my vision at that time was, I want to speak like a CEO. And that was my vision for myself that I had. So visualize somebody, a role model or an inspirational personality, and tell yourself, one day I want to speak like them, and keep moving towards that goal or that vision. So that is number one. So have a vision and keep visualizing your vision. This will help you to increase the commitment. It will help you to stay motivated. Number 2, make it public. Tell all your friends that this is a vision that I have, and that's why I joined Toastmasters, and I want to do speeches once a month in Toastmasters so that one day I get there. So make your goals, make your vision, make your priorities public. That's very important. Now, the next thing is even more important, which is make it urgent. Make it urgent. One of the common excuses that many of us give for not attending Toastmasters meeting or for not doing roles is, sir, I don't have time, sir. VP Education, President, VP Membership, these people would have heard this statement, sorry, sir, I don't have time, like umpteen thousands of times, right? So this is a common excuse that all of us give for not doing certain roles. And my challenge to them is, you have the time, but you have not prioritized self-development in your life. You have not prioritized the importance of learning communication skills. You have not prioritized the importance of learning leadership skills. And that is why you are not able to find time. In your busy life, imagine if some guest drops into your house all of a sudden without informing you. You will be able to still spend 1 hour or 2 hours with them. Or if a doctor tells you, come and do a regular checkup once a week. It's a very serious disease, and I want you to come and do regular checkup once a week. You'll spend all the time to go and meet the doctor every week without fail, right? If he says 3 months, you'll go for 3 months. If he says 6 months, you'll go for 6 months, right? But when it comes to Toastmasters alone, you can't find time. So the message that I want to share with you is prioritize Toastmasters in your life if you want to keep up the commitment. So prioritizing is very critical. Have a vision, make it public, make it urgent. And the fourth one, which is the last one, is keep it small. If you can't attend all the meetings, like I said before, at least attend a couple of meetings. Ensure that you attend at least 2 meetings, and ensure that you do at least 1 speech a month and 1 role a month. This is good enough. If you can do this consistently for like 1 year, you'll see a huge change. Just 1 speech a month, 1 role a month. Because I've seen Toastmasters who try to do like 4 speeches a month, or they go and attend like 3 club meetings a week, which is not sustainable in the longer run. If you can do it, nothing like it, go for it. But it's very hard to sustain in the longer run. So my request is to have your short-term goals small enough so that you have that motivation. Write it in a chart and say, I want to attend 1 Toastmasters club meeting every week or every month. Or I want to do this particular role this month. Put it in a chart in a visible location in your home so that you can sustain that commitment. So to wrap up, there are a few things that I wanted to emphasize. So I'll share with you a PDF which you can review offline, but I want to ensure that you are regularly attending meeting, the first hour. The second hour, research for all of your roles before you do any role, which means reading the manual, going and finding other sources of information and all of that. Number 3 is rehearsal. These 3 R's, don't forget. regular, research, rehearse. Now, in terms of keeping up the commitment, how to do it, have a vision, make it public, make it urgent, keep it small. Don't forget this. If you can do this, phenomenal, right? We all have spent $90 a year, $45 every 6 months. Why to do a half-baked job in this? If you have jumped into the water to learn swimming, go ahead and learn swimming. It will be very difficult initially, but once you do it for a short time, you learn it and you'll start enjoying it. So my request to you is do it till the time that you start enjoying it. Then nobody has to push you to keep committed. You will automatically stay committed, like how our parents pushed us to brush our teeth every day or take bath every day. Initially, it was like a force, but today we enjoy doing it. At least we see the value of it and we do it automatically. So my request to you is keep the commitment that you have made, not just for others, not just for your club, not just for Toastmasters International, but for yourself, so that you can become a great communicator and a great leader. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much on participation, preparation, and rehearsal are very important. And as you said, what you get out of Toastmaster is you cannot get what when you get out of Toastmaster. It is the right statement, which indeed for this renewal time as well. Thank you so much for that. So next, we can get into the another exciting session for today. Is the third session. It is the table topic session. Today we have Toastmaster Dr. Kalyan Sundaram going to be our Toastmaster, table topic master of the day. And he has vast experience in execution of heavy infrastructure projects, and he was the group general manager of RITES Limited. In that, he has executed the Delhi Metro. He has been a Toastmaster from 2010. He has joined Abu Dhabi Toastmaster 20 years ago. Put your hands together and welcome Toastmaster Kalyan Sundaram, our table topic master for today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, PM Modi. Are you able to see my screen? Hello?
Yeah, we can see your video, sir. We are ready to see your presentation if you are right.
Okay, you can see my screen. Okay? Hello?
We can see you, sir. We can see you, sir. We can see your video.
We can see you, but not the screen, sir. We are only seeing you.
Oh, okay. 1 minute.
Share the screen. Yeah.
Share the screen. I have to join once again, or what? There is some
in the bottom, you will see upward arrow mark calling share the screen, green color button.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the button. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you will get multiple windows and you have to choose the window which represents your PPT.
Yeah, that's right. Is it okay?
Yes, fantastic. We are able to see your screen.
Okay, thank you. Dear Toastmasters, the theme of the day is agility, personal agility. What does it mean? I have ability to move quickly and easily, ability to think and understand quickly. Let us see. First, let me call Toastmaster Nair, Mr. Nair, Raghunath Nair. Are you there, sir? Hello, Mr. Raghunath Nair. Are you able to listen to me?
Yes, sir, but looks like Raghu is not available.
Raghu is not in the call, sir.
Because he was, I have seen him anyway. Then let me, Miss Aishwarya Lakshmi. Aishwarya Lakshmi, are you there?
No.
But I have seen.
Yeah, I saw her entering into the meeting, but now she is not present.
Toastmaster Periyasamy.
Yes, sir. I am available here.
Okay, this topic is for you. First topic, Toastmaster Periyasamy, have great dreams and dare to live them. Live to the max. Please, this is your topic. Are you able to understand it? Take some time and see the video or see the picture. Have great dreams and dare to live them and live to the max. Toastmaster Periyasamy. Carry on.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for the wonderful topic. It's like a man without dream cannot achieve anything. It's like even apart from the man's, even every living beings in the planet have the dreams. Apart from man, I would say, even animals have the dreams. We may not know, but why not man's? So as a man, we should have the dream to go to the higher levels. It's like even people used to say, aim higher, have a good vision. So without dreams, we cannot achieve anything. Even just now, DTM Saro Velrajan has told, it's like we have a great vision. So it's like we want to be a great man, or I want to be a great, I want to be a CEO, or I want to go to the next level. So we should have the great vision. So it's like our past president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam also says, we should have the dream. So without dream, we cannot do anything. It's not, dream means nothing. Dream is like what we dream in the night. It's not like that. It's like a long-term vision. So we should work towards that. So when we have the dream, that's like a small things we will do. Then we will work on that and we will get it. So it's like we need to dream a big and we need to achieve that. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Periyasamy. It was a good topic, a good speech. Next, can I have, actually this, there are only 16, 17 members. So I have to assign some of the people who are doing the roles. So let me talk to Saravanan. This is Mr. Saravanan, it is for you. Next.
Yes, sir.
Have tremendous expectations and believe in them in spite of cutthroat competition. You see the person having the hand just protruded, really won the
Sir,
race.
you have not moved the slide to the next one. We are still seeing the slide one.
Is it?
Please click on the next slide.
Yeah. For me, it has come. Okay. Sharing. Is it come? Has it come?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Toastmaster Saravanan, this is for you. Have tremendous expectations and believe in them in spite of cutthroat competition. You see, the person who is actually just protruding his fingers for a few inches won the race. Thank you, Toastmaster Saravanan.
Thank you, Toastmaster.
Your topic.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Dr. P.K. Sundaram. That's a nice topic, I would say. The two key words I would say here is expectations and belief. These are the two things that drive any person to reach the pinnacle of success. Expectation, that is within ourselves or from others. What others perceive as expectations from us, we have to know about that. But what is more needed is the belief in us that we can do something. We are the best. That is the belief that will drive anybody to success. And what is the cutthroat competition all about? There is competition everywhere. Whether you are a small student, school student, or college person, college going person, or in a corporate life, everywhere there is competition. But it is cutthroat. But you don't have to worry about that. What is more needed is, what is that you believe in yourself? If you have to believe in yourself, that means there are three things that are needed. One is conviction that I am the best. I am doing the best. Second is hard work, that I am doing the best thing that I can do. And I'm the best version of myself. If I can get that to that level, that is what is hard work. Third one is not surrounding ourselves with naysayers. That means if you have positive persons around you, that is the best thing that can happen. So think about these three things: conviction, and have the belief in you, and then have the positive frame of mind. If you have all these three, you will be the best and you can meet all the expectations and exceed all the expectations, and you have the belief to go through this cutthroat competition and reach the pinnacle of success. Over to the table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shravan, and it was a wonderful speech. Next, can I have somebody who can actually volunteer for that, because I'm not able to see many. Otherwise, I give this to Toastmaster DTM Guru Prasad. DTM Guru Prasad.
Sir, if you don't mind, I am already playing the evaluator role, so I.
That is right. There are so many people.
I will be happy to take one, sir. I have no role. Thank you.
Okay, you are there. I did not see you at logging in. Okay, DTM Thomas, please take this.
Thank
this is for you. Have great hope and dare to go all out for them. There is a, you can see the picture and go about them.
Have great hope and dare to go all out.
All out for them. This is actually a dog having a lot of chicken and it is making them to walk behind.
When it comes, thank you very much, TT Master. When it comes to going all out, somehow individual stories are powerful, but it can never be expressed to the world. Whereas there are some things that are so spectacular that the whole world can see how people ride on their hopes and they go all out and succeed. I am talking about sports. I'm talking about cricket, the one of the main languages of India. I go back to the GABA test. The GABA test in Australia had made 369 runs. 6 of Indian players were out for less than that. Then steps out a part-time bowler, Shardul Thakur. His hopes were not built the previous day. His hopes were built 15 years back in a small suburb, even outside in, Mumbai, beyond Panvel, called Mahim Kalve. Every morning, the father would go out with this boy in a scooter, take him to the station. 100 kilometers away is Borivali, a distant suburb of Mumbai. He will practice every day and come back home at 10:30 in the night. That is where hopes were built, shared hopes, and the kit. That is what they rode in that old Bajaj scooter of his. Fulfillment of that hope came in stages when he did well under MS Dhoni in CSK. But that day, along with another Chennaiite, I'm forgetting his name, tall all-rounder, spinner.
Washington Sundar.
Thank you very much, whoever it is. God bless you. Yes, they changed things. They went all out. I cannot describe it in any other way. Dr. Sundaram, the terminology you gave, going all out, was literally meant for that day. They hit the Australian bowlers all over the place, and they didn't know where to hide. Long and short of it, India won. To me, great hopes. Nobody sees when you are living in hope. When you succeed, the whole world joins you. That's joy for all of us. Thank you very much.
It's a very good speech. Thank you very much, DTM. Next, are you able to see this? This is for Moinak. Mr. Moinak, can you take this? Mr. Moinak.
Yeah.
Our new mechanical engineer who will join us shortly. Come on. When love and skill work together, like a mechanical engineer, maybe expect a masterpiece. It is one of the masterpieces of construction. Come on. You can talk on when love and skill work together, expect a masterpiece. Come on.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster, for giving me this opportunity.
Okay.
The sentence that you have put in, out of the sentences, 2 words are really fascinating for me, which I can directly connect: the love and skill. I feel skill is something which you learn and which you apply in your daily life. But when you start loving the skill, it's something, it helps you to make something which is out of this world. So for me, I always had the interests to build things for the world, which would create difference. So I had always had the love and interest to solve the problems of the current world. And as I am a trained mechanical engineer. I have done my education in mechanical engineering, but my love for solving the problems, solving social problems in India had brought me back to India from Sweden. Currently, I am trying to, as I said, that I have a love for solving problems, social problems. Currently, I'm trying to implement my mechanical engineering skills to solve one of the biggest problems of India, the problem of manual scavenging. So I feel like that if I had if I am not able to connect my love to solve basic social problems of this current of India is facing, my skill does not have any value. And due to this connection of love and skill, I can proudly say that I have, with my team, has developed one of the first automated robot which will eliminate manual scavenging in India. Thank you, Mr.
Excellent, excellent, Minor. It's one of the best for a newcomer. Okay, next, can I have Prada Chidambaranath? Are you there? Prada, I think
yes,
you
I'm
have.
there.
You are there. Okay, this topic is for you. You are a Toastmaster already?
Yeah, I'm
Toastmaster. Okay. So please read this. If you have the courage to begin, you have the courage to finish, believe and succeed. That is, if you have the courage to begin, you have the courage to finish, believe and succeed. Toastmaster Prada.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. I'm happy to join today's meeting as a guest, and I'm Toastmaster for past 1 year in Jeddah Elite Ladies Toastmasters Club. I enjoyed the meeting.
Your time has started already. Yeah. Start speaking. Okay.
So my topic is, if you have courage to begin, you have the courage to finish, believe and succeed. Of course, my entire life works on this phrase, I can tell you. So every step that I keep in my to succeed in my profession, in my is by a small step that I keep. I can very well tell you that the example I can give when I joined Toastmaster also. I just joined Toastmaster just to overcome the restriction that I had in communicating with others, in joining a big discussion or anything like that. And I could tell you that for the past 1 year, I have regularly attended the meeting, and I have partially overcome the my restrictions in communicating with others. That itself is an example for me, and that is the latest example that I can give you for this phrase. So everything that I have achieved, I feel I have achieved today, is definitely because of the courage that I had to keep a single step, and it has led me to finish it many times, or it has led me to achieve my success. Thank you for the opportunity. Over to the Table Topic Master.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you. Do I have the Toastmaster Raghav Aditya? Are you there? Raghav Aditya? I noted down your name.
Toastmaster, this is Venkat Session. Yeah, I have renamed Raghav Aditya as my son's name.
You are there, no?
Yep. Yeah.
Please take this. Because this is actually, success is not achieved by contented people. Success is not achieved by contented people. Toastmaster Raghav Aditya. Start.
At least 2 or 3 times in a month, me and my wife, we discuss about what is success? When we can say one person is successful or is not successful? We always ended up that success is not a person who has achieved either 1 crore in his bank balance, or 10 lakhs in bank balance, or having a house 2 BHK or 3 BHK. Always what we have seen, the people who are who are moving ahead in their life. Sorry, timer, it is showing green. I've just started.
Okay. Carry on.
Okay. So it is not, the success is not a destination. It's a journey. So it's a continuous journey. You may be a successful person today, you have moved ahead and you have become a person of 1 crore worth. But if you are contented with that 1 crore, it may come down to 75 lakhs with the inflation rate. So it is not, the success is not for a person who is contented. Who dares to dream continuously is the one who is successful until he breathes his last. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have Toastmaster Om Kumar? Are you there?
Sir, can you repeat the name?
Yes, sir.
Om Kumar. Toastmaster Om Kumar. I noted
Yes,
down
sir.
his name. Come on. This topic is for you. Sometimes there is no next time, no times out. Sometimes it is now or never. I'm repeating. Sometimes there is no next time, no times out. Sometimes it is now or never. Make it happen. Mr. Om Kumar, Toastmaster Om Kumar.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. So sometimes there is no next times, no times out. Sometimes it is now or never. I would like to give an example in my life. Like right from my childhood time, I always had some kind of hesitation and fear in taking up some challenges. So one thing is swimming. I always wanted to swim, but I had this fear of water. Right from my childhood, when I travel in a train, when the train is crossing a bridge, when there is a river beneath, I will just close my eyes. So that is the kind of fear I had for the water. But later on, time passed, school days, college days, still I couldn't get into that water because of my fear. Now, having a 4.5-year kid, and she is asking me to learn swimming, and I couldn't hide my fear to her. So I have to overcome my fear and prove to my kid that I can swim. So what I did was, I have to do something now or never. So I decided to join a swimming academy and take up the swimming classes. So first day of the class, my coach asked me to dip my head in the water and give the bubbles. And I decided, okay, now or never. And I started, and now I'm a passionate freestyle swimmer. So somehow I learned and made it. So over to your table topics, master.
Sir, you are on mute.
TT Master, you are on mute, sir.
Sorry. Mr. Toastmaster Vengatpalli. Toastmaster Vengat? No.
Hi, sir.
There.
Hi.
Come on.
Hi, sir.
Okay, please take this topic. This is a simple topic. Love.
Wow.
See the picture.
Yeah, I can see that.
Come on.
It is just a 4-letter word, love.
Start talking now. Love.
Yeah. Love is since we born, we have seen a love and affection. You call it affection between parents and brother and sister. I have a younger brother and a younger sister, I shown a lot of love and affection towards them, and I used to take care of them as the elder brother of my family. And yes, after my marriage, we have a lot of affection each other between me and my wife. And of course, after 3 years or 4 years, I blessed with a girl who is now 12 years old. I feel a lot of love her, as most of the time during this pandemic. She shifted to Hyderabad and studying there. So I always have a video classes sometimes, and I used to have a video chat with her. I really miss her, and it shows a lot of love between us. And I also miss the love among us sometimes. So I keep traveling and seeing them, and taking them to out and bringing them here, and we go out and do some dinner and all. But due to the pandemic, it is really limiting and restricting ourselves not to going out. But the love not only within the family, we need to expand this family beyond our boundaries. At workplace, at whoever guest or fellow mates in our society, when I go in the morning, they say good morning. They show a lot of affection and love, and while walking, they ask me how many rounds you are walking, how many calories you are burning. They show a lot of affection, and they ask me where to join this class and that class. And recently, they also approached me for playing the cricket. So it's not love. It's not between within the family. It is, we need to expand outside. Also, we need to have a courage to express it and accept it. And I have seen a lot of love during this pandemic from my office and organization. It was like tremendous love they shown us to take care of ourselves and our need. How I am, not only my family, my neighbors, my parents, whoever it is, friends across the world. So that's really big, good love they shown towards me, and happy to be part of the Toastmasters also. Thank you. Over to TT Master.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe the last topic.
Sir, may I suggest there is a member from our buddy club, RMG Toastmasters.
Okay. Tell me the name.
TM Jairaj.
Mr. Jairaj, Toastmaster Jairaj. This is for you. You are welcome. Buddy club was actually doing well. Last time they gave me a very difficult topic. Now this is one of the wonderful topics, 24/7. Just to talk on 24/7. Yeah, early morning, 24/7. Toastmaster Jairaj, are you there? Toastmaster Jairaj, are you there? Sir, he's not there.
He is there, but he's in mute.
Yeah.
Toastmaster Jairaj, you are on mute. Could you please unmute yourself?
Or otherwise, we can close it because we have exceeded time. Also.
Yeah.
Okay. Then this topic somebody can take. Whoever is willing to take it, please take. I want Sekhar to take it. Doesn't matter even if he's a role player. Mr. Sekhar, are you there?
Actually, we have exceeded time.
Huh?
We have exceeded time. We think we can close.
Okay, then leave it. It's all right. Doesn't matter. Okay, but you can take this topic and finish it. Somebody can take it? No? Okay, thank you. Then over to you, TM Modi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, TT Master. It was a wonderful session today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Timer, can we have the qualified TT speakers names alone?
All the
TT speakers.
Yeah, all the TT speakers are qualified.
Read out
the names, yeah. Toastmaster Periyaswamy, Toastmaster Saravanan, DDM Thomas Abraham, guest Moinik, guest Pravda, Toastmaster Vengat, Toastmaster Om Kumar, Toastmaster Vengat Patel are qualified.
All right. That shows the agility of our
I launched the poll. Your personal agility in voting for the best table topics. I think we are done.
All right. Great. Thank you so much, sir, for the confirmation. So let's move on to the next session. That is the evaluation session of the prepared speeches and going to see the report of timer, accounter, and grammarian. To run this, we have our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster DTM Sambat Rajan sir. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon once again. So today let us start straight away with the project evaluations. The first evaluator today is Toastmaster Venkateshan. He is an IT sales professional. An intent and continual learning and courage to apply those learning in life are the key to personal agility. Learn, unlearn, relearn. That is his mantra. May I invite Toastmaster Venkateshan to present his non-skeptical evaluation of the first speech by Dinesh Shekhar.
Thanks, General Evaluator. Congratulations, Dinesh, on completing your first speech on evaluation and feedback. Intriguing opening. You brought the audience to their toes by asking a tricky question to the audience. That was the first opening statement was one of the positive points of your speech. Second, the usage of simple English language, which could be easily understood by any audience. That was another success factor of your speech. Third, the usage of the props. The way you used PowerPoint presentation to explain the CNG fuel, its advantages and disadvantages, along with a lot of data from different sources. This has provided a balanced view of CNG conversion, which has also supported the objective of your speech. Now, some of the improvement points on your speech. When you tell a story or interaction between two characters, you may speak it as a live story, like morning 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., I was sipping a coffee, my phone rings. The person on the other side, sir, are you interested in retrofitting your car to CNG? This kind of interactions, rather than saying, he asked whether I want to retrofit. This will, the direct speech will make the interaction more interactive, and also it will engage the audience as well. It will increase their curiosity in the story which you are telling. And also the second one is you may use variation in your speech tone. When you spoke about driving through ECR road from Tiruvannur to Mahabalipuram, you could see what a scenic drive it is. This variation in speech will bring an emotions better, will emphasize the message to the audience in a better way. You may also identify adjectives in your speech sentences, find out the adjectives and try to bring emotions along with those adjectives. This is one way that you could bring variation in your tone and also bring emotions in your speech. The third one is the closing statement. Though you had a perfect opening, a body talking about the CNG fuels, advantages and disadvantages, the closing statement could have been more stronger, because that's the closing part is the message that every audience, the listener takes from any public speaker, the audience. So in your speech, you may bring a more strong closing statement. That is the third improvement which I would like to bring in. Overall, the speech was engaging for those who appreciate and concerned about our environment and pollution. Thanks to you, General Evaluator.
Well done, Toastmaster Venkateshan. The second evaluator for the day is Toastmaster Sharanya. As we all know, she is a VPM and she has done many roles before also. She is very regular, very responsible, and you can say an epitome of commitment. So I invite Toastmaster Sharanya to come and present the evaluation for Toastmaster Kalyan's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Sambat Saurya Rajan, sir. So I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Kalyan. So the project is to provide a well-researched speech, and you have done like 100% justification to the project, Toastmaster Kalyan. So you started with a very good introduction. So asking about like for what people really fear, and it was like a question to all of us. So your introduction was very good, and you also gave a very detailed content with a well researched and well prepared content. It was very cleanly explained, and also the conclusion was really good. You also told like suicide is just a hell for cry. That was a great research, I think. And the confidence level that you spoke, like from the beginning till the end, it was like very constant throughout. There was no fear or there was no pause. It was like very clear, and the flow of the speech also was very good from the beginning till the end. The best practice in a Toastmaster speech is to stand and speak. You stood and spoke, and you also showed like a lot of gestures, even though they were like numbers and stuffs in the PPT. You showed like a lot of gestures, and when you moved from one point to another, you was very clear in that, and it brought in like a lot of attention to us. And you continuously also focused on the camera, even though you were like moving one slide after other, and it made us all involved in your speech. And since the research was like very interesting, so we were also curious to know like what you are talking about. And we understood the content clearly, like whatever you spoke was very clear. I just felt like there are like two areas of improvement in your speech. So when you spoke, your vocal variety was really good. So wherever you wanted to stress the points, like you stressed hard. But when you conclude a sentence, the last word, especially, like we are not able to hear it. Like it is sounding a little bit very low. So that since I was going and concentrating more on your speech because of the evaluation, I was able to understand like, oh, I just made an assumption like this is what you're going to speak. So it is better to work on the last words that you speak in a speech, like the way you start the sentence, you should end the same way. Maybe that would help. And other than that, in your third slide, I believe like it was like full of hints. There were numbers and there were name of the cities and states. Instead of that, if you'd have given like key points, like why exactly you have put those cities, if you have given the keywords, it would have been more meaningful. Suppose if we miss 1 or 2 seconds and come back and see the slide, only if there are keywords we'll be able to understand. So suppose if you're sharing your slide too, only with data we can't do anything. If there are keywords, like we will be able to understand more, right? So I found it in the third slide that there were like a lot of numbers, and it was if you have added more keywords, it would have been better. And also there was a chart in between which you explained, so there could have been a little pause and you would have explained it in detail. I felt the transition on the slide was little fast. And overall, to conclude, it was a very good speech, and we were able to understand a well-researched speech, and little bit to work upon the slides and the key points. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. Now we come to the evaluation of the third speech. The evaluator is DTM Guru Prasad. His take on the theme of the day itself provides an introduction to this personality. What he says is, my association with the theme of today, personal agility. This has been one of the core themes that drive my life. I always try to be a few steps ahead and be prepared for anything, good or challenging. This has helped me in all spheres, like be it professional, personal, or social. My election for Sergeant at Arms Medley recently is an example, with due respect to my competitor. Also, this attitude helps me keep myself always happy and excited on the positive side. Toastmaster Guru Prasad, please provide your evaluation of the negotiating speech of Toastmaster Shankar.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Well, I was thinking of talking to Shankar this morning and crack a small deal about what would he offer me if I glorified him so much in my evaluation today. Somehow I could not do. Then after listening to a couple of speeches, one about negotiating the different modes of personal transport, negotiating with the living of life itself, then I realized that I should have listened to Shankar's speech before even thinking of negotiating with him on the offer he could make on my evaluation. Kudos to you, Shankar. You gave a good presentation on whatever you have understood with Toastmasters guidance on the art of negotiations acts and as well as negotiating for the best outcome. Let us see how did I experience or enjoy your speech. Well, as your objective suggested, you had crafted a speech with informational and humorous themes intertwined within. So you had two stories, personal stories, that stood as an example of your experience or your tryst with negotiating, with an overarching story of the whole negotiation process, with a tinge of suspense in the beginning and closing it in a funny way. And you delivered it very nicely. We could live with you. We could understand what went through your minds in those days and how you handled them. The screenplay, as I said, was good, and we also were able to, I was at least convinced that you went through the project objectives. You learned all the theories about negotiating the Toastmasters manual has taught you, and you prepared this speech very well. Coming to the next part is your delivery. You were very cool, casual. You did not show any personal agility in delivering this. You are not skeptical at all in whatever you are talking. You are clear. You are telling us clear words and slow, in a patient way you explain the stories so that the message gets into us very clear. Now, coming to the areas where I found that this speech could have embellished in a better way are, one is, first of all, why the title in Tamil. We have a club where the members are with different linguistic expertise, and they may not even have understood. At least you could have given a within brackets some interpretation of the title. Nia Nana is popular with Tamil people based on some episodes that we see, but I would say you could have selected a different title so that everyone understands what you wanted to do. Secondly, yeah, you told us very good stories. You gave us very good examples, but you did not connect those incidents with the lessons you learned in negotiating skills from Toastmasters. And how do your experience, because your objective also tells you to match your past experiences or plan your future negotiations in line with the lessons learned. However, with the nice storytelling and your good presence on the stage, a bit of understanding and clarity in delivering your message, still the speech is very good, and I wish you all the best for better speeches in future. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Gurprasad. Now, may I ask the timer to name the qualified evaluators? Only name the qualified evaluators first.
Toastmaster Venkataseshan and DTM Guru Prasad are qualified for the podiums.
Okay, can the voting panel be put up?
G, shall I post the poll now for evaluators?
Yes.
Toastmaster Venkataseshan and DTM Guru Prasad. Thank you.
Please. Yeah, yes. Thank you. The poll is.
Okay, thank you. Now quickly, let us go through the reports. May I request the timer to give his report as brief as possible because of the time.
May I share the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Dear Toastmasters, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes,
in prepared speeches, Toastmaster Dinesh Shekhar took 9 minutes. 3 seconds, 77 milliseconds. Toastmaster Kalyan, yes, speaker 2, took 6 minutes, 38 seconds, 0.36 milliseconds. Toastmaster Shankar Ji, speaker 3, took 6 minutes, 34 seconds, and 12 milliseconds. In the education session, DTM Sarovil Rajan took 19 minutes, 29 seconds, 25 milliseconds. In table topic speeches, Toastmaster Periyasamy, table topic speaker number 1, took 1 minute, 20 seconds, 48 milliseconds. Toastmaster Saravanan took 1 minute, 54 seconds, and 39 milliseconds. DTM Thomas Abraham took 2 minutes, 25 seconds, and 30 milliseconds. Guest Moinek took 1 minute, 55 seconds, and 35 milliseconds. Guest Pravda took 1 minute, 17 seconds, and 98 milliseconds. Toastmaster Venkat took 1 minute, 31 seconds, and 67 milliseconds. Toastmaster Om Kumar took 1 minute, 20 seconds, 0.26 milliseconds. And Toastmaster Venkat Pallai took 2 minutes, 11 seconds, and 42 milliseconds. In evaluation session, Toastmaster Venkataseshan took 3 minutes, 9 seconds, 48 milliseconds. Toastmaster Saranya took 3 minutes, 37 seconds. Toastmaster Guru Prasad took 3 minutes, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. That's it. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. I am glad Toastmasters is entering the Olympic mode with milliseconds coming in. May I next ask Accountant to present his report.
Thank you, DTM Sampath Sauri Rajan. Let me start by congratulating all the speakers and in the process putting my listening skills to the utmost test. So let's start by the prepared speech session. Dinesh Sekhar uttered or used "3" times and "but" 2 times. And Toastmaster Kalyan used "like" twice. And Toastmaster Shankar used thrice, "but" twice, and a repetition of words twice. Moving on to the training session, DTM Sarovil Rajan used 4 times, then 3 times. And moving on to the TT session, Toastmaster Periyasamy used the expression twice and "like" twice. Toastmaster Saravanan used "but" twice and "that" twice, which falls under the other category. DTM Thomas T. Abraham used 1 repeat, and guest speaker Monik used 4 times, and Toastmaster Parvada used twice and twice. And Venkataseshan, I was not able to get through properly. Apologies due to lag in connection. And Toastmaster Om Kumar uttered once, and Toastmaster Venkat Pallai used thrice and thrice. Back to you, DTM.
Thank you very much. May I request Grammarian Venkatesan to present his report?
Thank you, Ji. I'll start from the beginning. Certain terms, DTM Guru Prasad was using the word meticulous agility when he was inaugurating the meeting. Then President Toastmaster Saravanan is using very good usage of adore, complexities, organize your thought. Next, Toastmaster of the day, Ram Prasad, was using the word indeed, good usage. G, as well as you were using the skeptical word at a proper time. And coming back to the project speaker, Toastmaster Dinesh. Normally, we used to discuss surfing the net, but now they are saying that Googling. Google, the word is, Googled is added in the Webster dictionary. And skeptical. The second speaker, Toastmaster Kalyan, improperly coincident. Toastmaster Shankar using terrified, spark, fishing, mind-blowing, astonishing. DTM Sarovil Rajan was using good number of words, emphasize, refreshing, absconding, vanish, break the ice, phenomenal. And TT Master DKS is also using the word, single word, good vision, something he was using it. Toastmaster Periswamy is also using the word good vision. Saravanan, Toastmaster Saravanan, pinnacle of success. Pinnacle of success. DTM Thomas was using two words, spectacular, fulfillment. Timer, the timer who played the DTM Master, out of this world, the good usage. Coming back to the evaluators, Venkateshan using to the toes, emphasis, and Toastmaster Sharanya using QES, transition. DTM Guru Prasad using kudos, embellished. This is my grammarian report. I would like to submit my grammar tip of today. There is one crux between a single letter, stationary and stationary. STATIONARY. That is called that means it's not moving. Another stationary, STATIONERY, means is writing or office supplies. Example, paper and pens. I'm going to send that in the chat box. Thank you for the nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, G.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Grammarian. May I ask for the voting panel to be put up for the best tag rule player?
Guru?
It's already launched.
No, TM Venkatesan. Name has to be changed.
Oh, sorry.
Grammarian name has to be changed.
I forgot to update. Apologies, but however, please cast your vote for the roles. Don't mind about the names. Apologies once again.
Sorry, Guru.
Okay. Now I will come for a
answer. Done.
I will come for a rapid fire general evaluation session. Sajanadam was refreshing as ever. DTM Guru Prasad. The president had a very good presidential address today. Well done, sir. Then the Toastmaster of the day. He has come up with a very intriguing topic. Actually, that made me think the word agility, a general word in English, has become a special word in some subjects. A lot of such general words are becoming a glossary in some technical fields. This agility of conversion is actually contributing to the fragility of the language. Sorry for that. Okay, going for the three speeches, I will not add anything to what the evaluators have already told. And the training session, this man called Saro Velraju is an endless wonder. I don't know what to say about today's. This was a display of his own commitment. So I will give him a simple acronym. Saro, SARO. S for sincere, A for attractive, R for relevant, and O for outstanding. That was what your training session for you was. Okay, then coming to Dr. Sundaram's topics, they were very good topics and they elicited very good responses. Actually, the success of a TP session is getting good responses. Today he did that very nicely. And then coming to the three evaluators, I will give 1.8. Venkateshan actually got into the speech mood. I wonder if after the meeting he will go out and buy an automobile with CNG fitting. I do not know. Sharanya came up with a fantastic tip, which I often say during some of my trainings. This tapering off is a big problem. Tapering off is a big problem. End is not known. So this is what happens frequently. We have to rehearse to correct this simple error. And then the third evaluator is Guru Prasad. See, even in a sitting position, he made such good use of head and hands as an evaluator. I have seen him on the stage In the 3D, he will be dancing around 3D because he will also jump, not just the floor, above the floor also he will be found. So there is good scope for evaluators to incorporate body language. That is a learning from him. And then the 3 reports were very good. In fact, I can add that all the 4 people, the G and the 3 tag role players, we are all stand-ins. The originals are dropped out. Okay, that shows the agility in programming of the Toastmaster. Now back to the Toastmaster meeting.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. So we were talking about the agility, how it is really matters, and how to make sure reprioritize what really matters in your life and how we can achieve it. So this is just a small framework which it's been done by Peter Stevens, one of the leading agilists in US. So this is a kind of Kanban wall, the visualized columns which you can create either using any digital tools, or you can have it as part of your walls, writing them in the walls, you can have it. In the left hand, it has the what really matters in your life, what are the things you wanted to do in the to-do list. That can be listed over there. And the next column could be what is really important among those items which is really matters can be listed there. And among that, if there is any urgent things, you can put them in the urgent column. What you wanted to work on for the next 1 week, just for the next 1 week. So that can be moved to those columns. And once you get done everything, celebrate it. Have a day for the celebration and choose what are things can be done for the next week. That is how you can improve your agility, agility systems in your life. And with that, you will be achieving more on your priorities as well as become the person you want to be and accomplish the things that is important to you. With that, I will hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Saram. Thank you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram Prasad. We will give 1 second for the polls for the best role player, DDM Prasad. Thank you, DDM Prasad. So what a session we had. It started from CNG cars, then negotiation, keeping the commitment. Wow, what a good session. All the sessions. Not every time I would say we witness such a variety, but today is one such a day. And if you think like, it has ended so soon, don't worry. Tomorrow we have another session that is for Speakathon. Please be available and be witness to all the speeches, great speeches we will be having. And then don't forget, next week we'll have our own club humorous as well as evaluation contest. Please be present. And if you have not enrolled, please ensure that you enroll for that. And this is now time for getting guest feedback. We just have one feedback from one of the guests who would like to go. Is it Moinak, Pravada, or Jairaj? Would you like to share your thoughts?
Hey, am I audible?
Yeah, Jairaj, please go ahead.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Jairaj, you are not audible, but
nice
we can.
I'm witnessing them. So I think it was a nice one. And hello, is it audible now?
It's okay now, please.
Sorry, I think some issue. Is it good now?
Jairaj, please show your face also.
Yeah, I'm trying to show.
When we come to your face.
Sure. I think I'll try to come. I'm trying to come. Okay. So is it audible now?
Yeah,
you are audible.
Yeah. I think
your video is not on.
No, actually, I'm using my phone. So if I put
okay.
it, it's not working. I'll try to come.
Go ahead, Jairaj. Go ahead.
Okay. So first time witnessing this meeting. So I think it was well planned, I can say. So yeah, like when I started, like maybe I missed the initial half days, but Saro Rajan given a speech, right? So commitment. So that's when I joined. I think it was a wonderful speech I witnessed. Definitely, I'll take back what is matters with commitment. And yes, there was nice evaluation, nice tags, and even I like the grammarian report also to some extent.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jairaj. Thanks for your wonderful observations as well as feedback. That we value that very much. And Thanks all the guests for attending the session today.
I'm really seeing the commitment and the planning, what you guys, what the team has been put in. So definitely we'll have a lot of takebacks. And there is no, because when we do transmission, right, we do a lot of glitches, but I don't see any glitches as such. So it was a wonderfully planned. That's what I can say, Sarana.
Okay, fine.
So I like to have more and more meetings in future also.
Good. We are buddy clubs. Definitely, there is always learning. Between each other, definitely.
Yes,
and it's time to see the best performers. So let us see that. Best speaker, Toastmaster Shankar. Congrats. Best TT speaker, Toastmaster Saravanan. Best evaluator, TTM Guru Prasad. Best tag role player, grammarian, Toastmaster Venkatesan. Best role player, TTM Sampath Savirajan. Very well done. Thank you for all your good work. And then with this, we have come to the end of the meeting number 642. And with the sound of the imaginary gavel, I declare meeting 642 closed. And I open the chat session for all the informal as well as